John and Ken Show. John Cobell and Ken Champeau, KFI AM 640.
This is really why you listen to the John and Ken Show. A lot of you out there, let's just go back and talk about what we were just talking about with Board of Equalization member George Runner, used to be in the California State Senate, because we asked him the point-blank question, how come there's never enough tax money spent on fixing the roads? Because another one of these reports came out saying that Southern California's roads are in some of the worst shape of the country. And these reports come out every 6 months and they become news. The little anchors read them and then they move on. But the truth is, the elites want you out of your car. They are not going to spend money to improve the roads, to widen the roads, to make it easier for you to drive because they don't want you to drive. It meets two of their goals. Number one, they never liked the car to begin with. They want you on the bus and on the train or on your bike. And number two, they got this global warming climate change obsession, which is another goal of theirs, to get you out of your car.
So we got. I'm telling you, we're in the
and
grips.
Nobody will talk about this the way we do, and George Runner just did. That is the truth. That is what's going on. They're not even reporting correctly, we don't think, on how much of the dopey cap and trade money is going into your gas bill when you pump up.
The overriding issue here is you have a bunch of fanatics in the Democratic legislature. You have the governor, and then you have the bureaucrats who make the rules, the unseen, unnamed bureaucrats. And they've created a state where they're willfully watching it crumble to try to teach us a lesson that none of us could follow through on because it's simply impossible to live that way. Whatever their belief system is, it's impossible to live that way.
It's not practical. You're right.
Not to mention, they've got no right to do that to us.
I mean, what synopsizes that better than dopey Loretta Sanchez talking about how when she was, remember, we played the audio, she was going to go get an award, but she was late because there was a truck that blew up under a freeway overpass. If only I had had California's high-speed rail. Remember that? And it doesn't even go in the same direction. You were going east to west. That goes north to south. Nowhere near where you were going. It's nonsense to say that. But no, people say that and it goes unchallenged.
It's gibberish. It's insanity. But they have these a really harmful belief system. And again, I understand because people are really busy and really stressed out, and they're forced to put up with this stuff. But there's got to be a tipping point.
The question you asked before, how come these elites aren't removed from this kind of policy making, is because people are not aware. They're not awake. They're not getting a lot of media coverage on it. Whatever they use to tune into these kinds of stories is not telling them the truth the way you just heard it here. That is the truth. They want you out of your car, and unless you rebel, it's going to keep happening.
It's very difficult with one-party rule because what happens is the most energetic fanatics take control of the party, and that goes for either party. And then this Republican Party, you don't hear boo from them. There's no one who speaks out loud and challenges this stuff. There's no fight at all from these people. They just collect their paychecks, what few legislators are left. You have a media that is utterly disinterested in the quality of life that people are suffering from. Just regular, ordinary, middle-class people who are just trying to drive to get to work and do their family business.
And they get resigned to it. They just give up and go, oh, well, that's life in Southern California, high gas prices and crowded roads.
It's not. This is all created by government neglect and government action. Other states aren't like this.
That's right.
Other countries aren't like this.
And then, the media that hears, Johnny Ken are just a bunch of crackpot conspiracy theorists. Really, they believe that there's some network conspiring to get you out of your car by keeping gas prices high and not fixing roads.
It's a belief system that they have. You look at what they do. They have plenty of tax money. And tax money has been raised in the recent past and sequestered in the recent past, and it's generally not spent on the roads. And you heard what George Runner said. If you actually talk to these people, and I've seen many quoted in the paper that they want you on bikes and trains.
Oh, even the Times,
and buses.
The LA Times did an editorial a week ago, putting down the examples of the money that's been taken from the gas tax to go to mass transit, to go to bike lanes and all that kind of stuff. Even they admitted it's wrong, but it's done.
It's garbage. People don't live that way, and they will never live that way. That's the thing. These people make our life very difficult. They will never win. Everyone's going to keep using their cars because they must. It's the only way to make money. It's the only way to carry on with your family business. There is no other way.
All right, coming up next, we will talk about the increase in car chases. You're not imagining it, and it seems like a lot of times this year we've interrupted the show to cover one.